Welcome everyone. And it's amazing. We're usually packed. I don't know what's going on tonight. But I promise you, we're going to get out of here in time for me to see blue blood. Okay? So, we're not going to hold you very long, but I welcome you and I thank you for coming, parents, and bringing your, and the students who came along. I thank you for coming and showing interest in the Stars and Stripes program. We need Black healthcare professionals. It's just like you go home to your family. You expect to see a mother and a father who looks like you. Well, when we go into the hospitals, doctor's offices, just think our blood pressure probably goes down a bit when we see people who look like us, because we feel that nobody's going to care for us like us but us. So this is why we do what we do. We do not have enough people or professionals to serve the population that we have, the minority population. A lot of people are going without doctors in their community, without treatment and care, because they live in rural communities and nobody wants to go out there. Everybody wants to stay in the city where everything is happening and going on. But I'm here to tell you, after almost 25 years of working with these programs, I probably got one of the best rewards that I've ever gotten. We were over doing presentations with the, listening to presentations from our stars. And this guy walks in and asks for me. And I'm thinking, gosh, he has the body and the build of a police officer. What have I done? Didn't have on a uniform, but he looked like a policeman. He was tall, he was, kind of muscular, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what have I done? Anyway, he came up to me and he said, I'm Dr. John Payne. I said, huh? And I looked at him and I screamed. This young man was in the BEAR program, which was the same program as the college training program now. My first year here at South Alabama. He had been on vacation at the Grand Hotel. He stopped by to apologize to me for acting up and to tell me thank you. He said, I'm going to do something for you, because if it had not been for you, I would not be a doctor today. He makes from $900 to $1 million a year. And he was at the bottom of his class when he graduated medical school from South Alabama. So you know what? It doesn't matter where you come from. It matters where you end up. He is practicing good medicine. He said, I'm getting ready to semi-retire, and he's not even 50. He has a family. He said, God has blessed me so. I've done well. He said, so I am going to kind of slow down while I'm ahead. So let me tell you something, young people. If you want it, you can get it. But you gotta want it. It doesn't matter how much we want it for you. If you don't want it for yourself, it's not gonna happen. This young man just shocked me with what he was telling me. He kept me out of the presentations till they were half over, because he had so much to say. He said, I'm just so grateful for everything that was done for me. And he didn't have to tell me that. The fact that he walked across that stage and he graduated was enough for me. he said, I cannot believe that you're still here because we know what you have to do in order to do what you do for us. And he said, you stayed the course, and I thank you for it. He said, I want so much for my son to be under you. I said, well, honey, if he's not ready to come in a little while, he won't be under me, he'll be under somebody else. Because I'm going to do like you. I'm going to semi-retire or full retire. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know there are so many success stories from these programs. So many success stories of students who were not led to believe that they could be doctors and they could be healthcare professionals. It never crossed their mind, but they have talent, they have abilities, they have people who are out there willing to help them, but then they have a passion. And you gotta have a passion if you want to get it. Because I'm an example. I came from the country, poor as a church mouse, and my parents were not educated. My mother had a 4th grade education. My dad had none. He could not read nor write. But he acquired 40 acres of property and 2 mules. Now, it took me almost all of my 25 years here in Mobile to buy a little piece of lot in a subdivision. And he had no education. I had a terminal program. So I'm telling you, it's what you do with what you got. And please, don't expect handouts. You be ready to use your hands to get what you want to get. And I don't want to start off like I'm fussing, but you know, when I think about people like him, where they came from, the trouble they went through, you know, in his the part 2 of the board exams for him to practice medicine, he had to take it twice because he failed it the first time. Just all kinds of issues that get in the way because we're not primed for that when we are coming up and all. We're not primed to be doctors and lawyers and all of that. You know, our parents pray for us to not get shot and to finish high school and to finish college, and when they send us away, they want us to come back safely. You know, sometimes we don't get beyond that. So I'm telling you, young people, the fact that your parents are here when they worked all day and they want to be home, and the fact that we are sacrificing and coming, you know, after working a whole week, it says that we care about what happens to you, because I know when I get old and sick, somebody who's your age now is going to have to take care of me. So we want you to succeed. That's why we're here. And I'm just, you know, I see 2 males. What grade are you? 11. What grade are you?
College.
You're in college? Oh, okay. Are you interested in health professionals?
Culinary.
See, you haven't thought about that. We don't think that way. Our role models are not always those kinds of professionals. But just know that whatever we want to do, we can do. It's just, you know, we got to learn about it, we got to be exposed to it, and that's what these programs are about. It's to expose you to the possibilities, give you an opportunity, and from there, it's on you. Okay? Now, there's an obligation that you have as a student. The parents have an obligation. Your counselors, some of whom are here, have an obligation, and we have an obligation. And with that many people working together, if you do your part, we ought to be able to get you to where you want to go. But we can't do it without you. You know, if you're pulling against us and we're trying to pull you forward, we can't do anything. We need you to be engaged and to be willing to work toward your own future. Because how many people you know go to school, high school, college, anywhere, and get paid for going? No, they have to pay. They don't get paid. They have to pay. So we want to give you an incentive because we know that if you were not in this program, you would probably have a summer job. And your job, when you come here, the only thing you have to do is learn and work hard. That's all we ask. And you get paid for it. If you go out on the job and you get $8 an hour and you have a 40-hour work week and you only work 25 of those 40 hours, how much is it going to take? Have control of that. You have control of where you go from here. If you enter into Stars and Stripes and you do well and you have a passion and you want to go farther and you want to become a healthcare professional, we have little steps along the way. That's why we call it a pipeline that will help you get to where you want to be. Once you finish Stars, you earn your stripes. Like tonight, these students were doing presentations. That was one of the stripes that was required. I don't know, one girl may have gotten hers. But you know, we can't make promises to you and not keep them. If you sign a contract and we tell you this is how it's going to be, then we need to honor that contract. Parents, when your students are oriented, you sign the contract too, saying that you're going to ensure that they do what is required in this program. And you know, when you breach a contract, people could take you to court, or you may have to pay some money, or whatever. But the only thing you pay for is lost opportunity. So, we're serious about this to help you to stay on track to go to where you want to go. And in order to do that, we have to write, for part of it, we have to write grants and get funding and all of that. And if we don't get a grant proposal approved, then we don't have the money to do it. So you know what helps us to get them approved? When you come in and do what you want to do, supposed to do, and we can show them that what we're doing is working, that it's actually helping you, they are more inclined to give us more money when you do that. So if you do well, the program does well, and we do well when we apply for more money. Because who's going to keep giving you money if they can't see any results of the money? Just like us, when you don't make the grades, we don't give you the money. Same thing, that's the way the world works. So I'm telling you, if you're interested in health professions, this is where you need to be. If you're just looking for a summer job, this is not the place. Because if you go to McDonald's, you're probably going to get more. My daughter told me one day, she said, Mama, some of these people at the fast food place make more money than I do. I said, and you mean to tell me they can't get our orders right? You know? I go through drive-through sometimes, and some of the people who wait on me, I say, you know what, there is absolutely no way that kid could work for me. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, do your best. Give it everything you got. I washed dishes to get through junior college. I had the cleanest kitchen in the city of Macomb, Mississippi, because I took pride in it. And I was taught that no matter what I did, I had to do it right. And I had to do it in my mama's kitchen right. So I know that y'all were raised right, because your parents are here. So that means that whatever they're teaching you at home, you need to take it out with you when you go out and use it. And you know right from wrong, because most of you go to church and Sunday school. I know. Okay? So we're not asking anything of you that you can't give to us. Okay, attitudes. to my pet peeve. A student can get anything they need from me with the right attitude. But when your attitude is bad, you've already turned me off. And this summer, I had to have some meetings, close my doors, because some things just aren't necessary. And like I said, I'm not fussing, I'm just telling you what is required to come in and to stay into this program, because, you know, we are extraordinary, we're not the ordinary. And we are probably watched. I know this is going to be on camera, but it's the truth, so I don't have a problem telling the truth. People barely get into medical school. Okay? This program is going to give you science, because that's what makes up healthcare professionals. They're going to teach you the sciences and help you, if you're having difficulty now, help you catch up. Okay? And we expect to see improvement from the time you come in to the time you go out. You take those courses, you get some opportunities to interact with physicians doing seminars and so on and so forth. You pass that program, then you're eligible to come back to the stripes program. Now, you got to earn that though. You got to do some activities in the neighborhood. On your application for medical school, it asks what kind of activities were you involved in, because you got to demonstrate that you are interested in people and taking care of people and doing things for people, that you're not selfish and you're not just coming to medical school because you want a big salary. Okay? So that's why we have you go through these activities with Stars and Stripes. Like tomorrow, Monday, hopefully, you'll be out with Ms. Williams doing some things for Martin Luther King Day. We got activities for you to do for that, those of you who are in the program. That's how you earn your stripes. You got to do something. And not just do it, but do it with a passion for learning. And you need 3 stripes in order to be accepted back in the program. And if you're doing but he is in charge, and he is the reason that we have this grant and these programs, and he's going to talk to you about the mission and why he decided to do this.
Thanks, Dr. Miles. I'd like to thank all of you all for being here, particularly your parents for bringing your children. I'm not exactly sure what's going on in Mobile streets. That's why I usually drive much later than I do today. But it's pretty crazy out there, so I'm actually glad to see you guys made it. Somebody made it here must have sped. We left from the same place. Briefly to tell you about the Center for Health and Communities. We've been in existence since 2003. It actually started prior to my arriving in Mobile in 2005, and Dr. Miles was part of that original group that started this. And our mission is to reduce and hopefully eliminate health disparities. Okay? Health disparities are differences in health care and health outcomes. Particularly we're interested in health outcomes. We care about people living and living well and living well long. Okay? And when we say disparities, it basically means that there are certain groups that don't do as well as other groups. You might imagine some of those predictors out there that will tell someone in the healthcare industry that this particular group of people are at higher risk for not living as long and not living as well. So you might want to yell out some of those things that might predict that you might not have as good as life and as healthy a life as other groups. What did you say? Say again? Okay, so eating poorly. So think back deeper as to what may impact your eating habits.
Obesity.
Think deeper than that. What generates bad eating habits and obesity? Say again.
Your ancestors.
Okay, so genetics can play a part in bad outcomes. Okay? Now, almost every group you think about has something about them that's unique health-wise that actually puts them at a disadvantage compared to other groups. So one of those in African Americans, for example, is sickle cell. There's cystic fibrosis and muscular dystrophy and other groups. Okay? So why might someone eat poorly and be obese? Lazy. Well, we're going to go a little different than that. So it means they don't get up and move around much. Why might someone not get up and move around much?
Depressed.
Say again?
Depressed.
All right, mental illness, depression. What may make that worse in a neighborhood? Say it again? Poverty. Poor education. Not having a safe neighborhood to walk in. If you have to drive 5 miles to get to the mall, to walk a mile, that's not doing you a lot of good, right? We need to be able to do those things in our own neighborhood. So there's a lot of those factors out there that impact health disparities, and what we're doing in the Center for Health and Community is trying to address those. One, identify them, and two, address them. And what we're doing in this program is addressing the biggest need. To have a safe community, a healthy community, means you have members of the community who are engaged in the well-being of that community. They're educated, they care about others, they care about their family and their neighbors. They want to have a safe, walkable neighborhood that has economic and educational opportunities. So that starts from the time before you are born, by having healthy parents, and having a healthy pregnancy, and delivering a healthy kid into a great environment. And your parents have done those things, and we are here to try to help them take you through that next step. So our goal, since we are funded by the National Institutes of Health, and we focus on health disparities, is to focus on helping you to achieve your goals, and we expose you to careers in the health care field. But our main goal is to have you guys be the best people you can be, to go to college, to graduate from college, and whatever community you settle in, that you're going to be an advocate for the good health and well-being of that community. So, because we're funded by the National Institutes of Health, we talk about healthcare careers in medicine, dentistry, nursing, cardiorespiratory health, x-ray technology, physical therapy, occupational therapy, social work, etc. And we give you opportunities to understand what you do in those fields and what it takes to become that, a person who works in that. At the end of the day, our graduates have chosen their areas. We have dancers, artists, poets, teachers. We do have some people who actually stayed in healthcare. One almost working their way toward being a physician, others about to enter medical school, nursing, cardiorespiratory health, etc. Okay? So, we appreciate your interest. We know, parents, that you guys want the best for your children. We are proud to tell you that our track record is a good one. The Board of Education knows about this program and has asked us to try to expand it and do more. As Dr. Hanks, sorry, Dr. Miles, Dr. Hanks and Dr. Miles, co-worker in this effort, Dr. Miles pointed out, that takes resources. And we've been fortunate now for 13 years to have funding through the National Institutes of Health. We're part of that funding working on this project, on this particular project. A large part of that funding goes to community engagement projects, community health advocates with whom you will work. Many of those folks are folks who are PhDs, nursing, faculty at some of the nursing schools around. from several other backgrounds. And we have a research agenda also where students actually get to interact with those investigators if things go well and you stay on track with us. Now, for us to remain funded means that we need to have good people come in, be committed, both parent and child, be successful, and stay in touch with us. So when you jump into this, you need to understand you're jumping into another family, and our families already don't like to lose contact with you. So it's our goal to stay in touch with you so we can report to the National Institutes of Health how well our students have done, because you guys are actually standing on the shoulders of those people for the 10 to 11 years who went before you. And we hope that the students now, a decade from now, will be standing on your shoulders because you did extremely well. Yes, that's a lot of responsibility, but if you weren't able to accept it, you wouldn't be here. And we expect you're going to do well. So Dr. Miles is the bad cop, I'm a good cop. We really mean, she means what she says. We have a contract. You're going to be able to do it. The reason you're going to be able to do it is because you're going to do it together as a team. Okay? You guys are going to be a posse. You know, sometimes posse got to be a bad word, but we're making it a good word in science. In order to be able to get through the curricula, the demands for many other areas you need to now in higher education, you have to have a group of people around. There needs to be a peer group of your own age, a group that is older, and you have to take a group below you and be a mentor. That's what it requires. You're doing it great in your own schools, and we understand that, but when you get outside of that, there's a lot of other people you're going to come in contact with who did great in their environment. And you're going to have to be confident in yourself to befriend those people, work with them, and they're going to need to be confident in you that you aren't going to hold them back. So our goal is to have you be the leader of the posse in whatever school it is you go to, and to be the person who's going to motivate and keep everybody straight and on target in wherever communities you sell into. That you're going to be an inspiration, and that people after you are going to stand on your shoulders and move forward. And then, you know, on top of all that, you actually get paid to do it. I don't know of any programs with that kind of thing exists. We're proud of this, and we look forward to seeing your applications and hopefully joining us. Okay? So, a couple words about me. I'm an internal medicine physician and a nephrologist. I'm a kidney specialist, that's a nephrologist. And internal medicine is a physician who doesn't deliver babies, doesn't take care of small kids, and doesn't do major surgery, but we do everything else. Okay? It's not just the intern that's just right out of medical school, it's the people who take care of adults. The heart specialists, the endocrinologists who take care of hormonal issues and diabetes, the kidney specialists like me, the pulmonary specialists, the critical care specialists, the geriatricians who take care of older patients. What am I missed? Rheumatologists who deal with diseases that attack the body and joint issues. And the gastroenterologists who deal with the stomach, intestines, liver, etc. We're all interns, okay? And that's the kind of doctor I am, and we make sure you get exposure to folks like that, like me and work with, as well as some of my colleagues, okay? All right. Questions? Got to be some questions. Parents? I know you got some questions. Don't let your children go in anything if you don't have questions.
This is my husband's camera and I don't know how to use it correctly. Okay.
We'll be happy. Where to apply? No. What is your problem?